I just wasted 5 days on an absolutely useless design, and not only did I fail designing this well, I chose to do something that I shouldn't have done. So this is a hex key holder for my cleat wall. First of all, other people have already designed tool hangers for this Vera toolset that I could have just used off the internet, but no, I needed to make a more beautiful one. Hence, I spent 5 days at the point in my life when I have the least time to lose. The project in general is good. I want to organize my studio. My studio has always been really disorganized, and to make Marble Machine work, I need a clean working space. But then I go into this maximizing perfectionist mindset, and making the tool holders is not a bad idea. It's just my execution is just absolutely embarrassing, so I'm pissed off. On that note, you can help me. I'm sharing this studio with Ludwig, and Ludwig said maybe the community wants to help, and I was like, that's actually a great idea. So we're launching a project on the Marble Machine engineering server, link in the description, where I post pictures of the tools and I ask for help making custom tool hangers for the cleat wall and for the Gridfinity system. And I see a huge potential in us working together because there's a lot of skilled designers watching Wintergatan, and I want to learn how to collaborate on large scale really efficiently. So by working together on this project, we can work together also on the Marble Machine project, and we can learn a lot from this dress rehearsal, how to organize and make it efficient and not frustrating for either part, because the project has two parts. The French cleat wall is this system where we're gonna make 3D printed tool holders for tools to hang on the wall. So this is going to be my display wall in all my YouTube videos, and we will give credit to all the designers that have designed tool holders for my main YouTube wall. The second part of the project is the Gridfinity system, where we're making this Gridfinity parts for all the drawers to make these custom holders, like for these camera lenses or for these marbles. That takes quite a lot of a time, but it's very satisfying. So if you make a cool Gridfinity box for one of my custom microphones or something, we will print it here and use it in my system and give you credit, of course. And I'm also very excited to create an online space where we can collaborate that is really efficient, because what I found is that a lot of skilled engineers are often volunteering their very valuable time to my project. And what I've noticed is that the most skilled engineers don't take kindly to inefficiencies. So I'm really the luckiest person in the world, having people even considering volunteering their valuable time to my projects. I really, from the bottom of my heart, want to say thank you to everyone considering helping out. I hope you're gonna have fun, and I hope it's going to feel rewarding. I think some of these tasks for a good designer will be literally a 15-minute CAD session, and then you contributed to the wall, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you so much for considering. Okay, let's go back a few days and restart the vlog where I was excited to make this holder, which finished in me like just realizing how much I'm squandering my time. Enjoy. Hi everyone, I want to try something a bit new today. I want to have a calm and nice design session to solve a specific problem. I'm making a tool holder for my Vera hex keys. So I'm making a French cleat wall, and these are for my Vera wrenches. The idea with the French cleat is that you can have this 45 degrees and just hang the tools on an entire wall. And I want to custom design a couple of hero tool holders. Custom Vera tool holders are a very popular thing to make. There's a lot of products, and you could argue that all of these does a fantastic job, but I do want to build a hero holder, and I haven't found anything that is as beautiful as I think I can make it. Here's my requirements. I want it to be French cleat, easy to grab and put back, easy to print, always tidy no matter how I put them back. There should be a single position with no user input, meaning I don't have to pay attention to make it look nice when I put it back. This design gets it a little bit right because it's supporting the underside, which keeps them at the same height. Here you would always need to put them back neatly because the height isn't constrained. The holder should look nice together with my other tool holders. I want this musical organ effect, which is basically this pipe organ thing. Higher notes are smaller like this, which is like my main design inspiration actually for this entire project, the musical effect of hex keys. I want a floating minimalistic look, and I said spline curves. Not everything has to be straight just because it's tools. So this design comes close, but it's very blocky and square. And another aspect, you can't take the tools straight out. With the French cleat system, it's important to, if you have to lift the tool, you can't have anything above it on the wall. That's why it's important to be able to take straight out. I want the underline to be this curve that I talked about. So here we start to see a bit of a curve. Yeah, that feels good for grabbing. So we're taking inspiration from the soft radii of this bend here. So we're taking the same bend in our frame. That looks musical. 11, 9, 2, 13, 5, 2. So now with the paper sketch, I have a pretty good idea on how to lay this out in CAD. All right, we have the top holders, larger for the larger tool, smaller for the smaller tool. So the bottom we can put flat on its back and the top can stand up like this. All right, we have a test print. I really wanted this design to be correct at the first try, and I already know that I want to redo this. But let's learn a lot from this test print. So I printed these parts in this direction, no supports needed. So these pieces should be able to just be pushed into each other. That's a pretty tough press fit, but I can push it. Okay, yeah, bad layer direction. You heard a click. That's what I want to redo. Anyway, came together nicely. So let's now try these fits. First the bottom ring, that's good. And the click is perfect on that one. Do you already see how the holder disappears on this design? So I deliberately put, oh yeah, it's cracking here. Okay, that's a completely wrong height. I need to make these flexors much longer. It looks musical, it looks floating. It has a lot of good looks. There's a lot of issues with this design. Serves me right for making my own design. When you take them straight out, you crack the bottom ring because of the print direction. I have to figure out how to make the bottom part also flexing. But with this curve, it's trickier. What if we skip the bottom curve and you actually have to put them back in a nice way yourself? Akin to this holder, it's just one line that holds the tools. Actually pretty fun design lesson here. That if I make my design requirements less dumb, I can remove half of this thing. If I want the holders to hang pretty, I can hang them pretty for that photo shoot and go on with my life. We can remove half the part that is causing me issues and we're left with something like this, which is a good design lesson for me for the marble machine. While the new design is printing, I'm gonna prepare the cleats for the design to hang onto. I'm trying to recycle this old plywood and it has this sticky acoustic goo material because we used it as floors in the French studio. I hope I can remove this in one entire piece if I start a little patiently. So this track saw can tilt. That's 45. So for this 45 cut, I really want to hold the track with clamps. So I don't need to keep, so I know that the track won't be sliding around. I want to put this temporarily here on the wall, and I learned from Jimmy DaResta to use something physical as a measuring stick rather than a measuring tape. Then I can just start with one screw here, and then I use the same stick on the other side, and this will be parallel to the table. 50 millimeters there somewhere. French cleat is cool. You can take this here and put it there. This is my little prototype French cleats. Cool, you can slide things, nice. It's really ugly. This stripes on the wall. And when everyone does it with wood, you always have the fiber direction going in different directions. So you see the stripes a lot. I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna paint this in matte black to go along with the matte black tool holders. And I have the test paint right here. So let's try to paint it into the wall and see the difference. This paint looks very uneven when it's wet. And when it's dry, when it dries, it becomes super even and matte. I got so pissed off with myself, so I stopped filming. I made like 4 versions since I stopped filming. Somewhere in the middle, I think, ended up being the best one. The big issue with these designs is that the PLA is creeping, meaning that this pressure fit that is holding this heavy hex key pretty nicely right now, it's getting loose over time, so it starts falling. I noticed that on this holder, that the press fit that was really rough in the beginning is now really light, so you can see it falls out of the holder. So then I started to try to design with these end stops, and it's just ugly and it was too tight. And then I was like, okay, let's go over to this design where it actually hangs in the head. And then I printed this in the wrong layer direction. So the little squeezy thing is along the layer lines, which means it breaks. What I realized is, number 1, I suck. Number 2, I shouldn't spend my time on this. To defend my honor, the wrenches holder is perfect, and this one is decent as well. But the fact that I went into such a deep rabbit hole, and interesting with design requirements, I had this one design requirement that it should look neat, however the user put it back, and that requirement is not met on this design. I did learn a lot, but mostly I get pissed off with my own inefficiency. And let's go to the efficiency chart. I'm gonna need to change color of the pen for the chart. We have a new color. It's the color of blood for the efficiency chart, because we're not being efficient, are we? On this chart, I said, did we have fun? Did we get closer to the world tour? The answer is no on both of those questions. It would be a complete 0 if it wasn't for the fact that I started a collaboration project with you, which makes it a 2 and 3 here. Alright, that's enough crying for today, but I am happy that I'm not deceiving myself anymore. If you want to help me design satisfying gridfinity storage and cool tool holders for my beautiful feature wall here in the studio, head over to the Marble Machine Engineering server, and I'll leave that link in the description. Thank you so much.